this works. Clicker. Go on.
Hi everybody, we're the finance team. My name's Matthew.
Hi, my name's Makara.
My name's Esther Lee.
Dylan Montes.
And I'm Jessie Schaefer. So we are the Finance, Budgets, and Risk Assessment team. So we had 9 objectives this semester. And in the following slides, we're going to kind of highlight those and outline them for you, as well as our accomplishments.
This semester, we were able to receive 2 loan applications, and one of our objectives was to be able to write up loan recommendations for the loan applicants within 3 weeks of receiving them. And we were able to successfully do it through the help of the team's work and through the steering committee. To create the loan recommendation, we first had to look at the different background of the borrower, understand the country dynamics, and be able to realize how much money it would take up of their overall income and create an amortization chart for them. Through doing that, we were able to pitch an idea to the steering committee to be able to hopefully approve the 2 loan applications. And they were able to guide us in being able to give us suggestions on ways that we can improve the applicants being able to pay the loans. And they were approved, and they were both from Vietnam. One loan applicant is Trin T. Tu Hong, and the other one is Nguyen Huang Hu Zhong. And they both came to us to be able to receive a loan for a motorbike. Although Globe, a lot of times we look to be able to give loans to them to become entrepreneurs, we believe that by giving them a motorbike, it will help them continue to carry on their work. In Nguyen Huang Hu Zhong's case, it helps her to be able to get to her job at a leather shoe factory that without this new motorbike, she would have to lose her job. And in Trin's case, it helps her be able to get to medical school on the weekends and hopefully be able to provide more to her family. Trin will be receive a loan of $442, and she'll be repaying it in a 20-month span with payments of $42 per month. And then Nguyen Huang Hu Zhong, she will be receiving an $885 loan with she'll be able to repay within 24 months with a $45 per month.
So, as we all know, the mission of Globe is to eradicate poverty within our lifetime. And Globe does this by providing microloans for borrowers in developing countries. But in order to expedite this process, we came up with an idea that we called community building. And what community building is it's really intended to provoke borrowers to think beyond the personal benefits that they get from receiving a loan. So how then can that loan impact others within their community? When a borrower receives a new loan, they're also given new resources that they may not have had before, such as extra time or extra money. And so we want them to think of ways that they can use these new resources to now improve their community. So for example, with extra time, can they volunteer? Can they help a neighbor out with their project? Extra money, can they hire an employee? Or now do they have enough money to pay for an education for a child or another family member? And so after we created this idea, we added it to a section on our loan recommendation as well as our loan application. And on the recommendation, it's really just a section that illustrates our borrower's potential to be able to make a difference within their community. And on the application, it's the borrower's space to be able to brainstorm these ideas on how they can make a difference as well. So we're really hoping that what this section does is allow our borrowers to explore all these new possibilities and opportunities that a loan can create that they didn't think were possible before, as well as finally just empowering our borrowers to make a positive impact on their community. And one of our biggest objectives this semester was expanding into a new country. At the beginning of the semester, we were active in 6 countries, and with the newest expansion being a few years ago in the Philippines. However, we wanted to expand the globe base. Let's make it 7, why not? And so it was a lengthy process, so we had to start pretty early. What we started with was just researching different countries around the world and who would be the best fit for our program. We narrowed it down to 3 countries. We had Brazil, Cambodia, and Guatemala. And from those countries, we did a little bit more of an extensive research, and we presented it to the steering committee. Sister Sister Mary Louise is part of our steering committee, and she was also a daughter of charity, and she was instrumental in really giving us feedback and what she felt would be the best choice out of the three. We also took a class poll to see where everyone's opinion lied and where they felt like we should move into. We decided on Guatemala. So then moving forward from there, we drafted a proposal of what the GLOBE program's all about, and we sent it to the Daughter of Charity in Guatemala. She approved it. It was really exciting. And so now we're just waiting on an active borrower application.
So our next objective is creating a payment template for the daughters. This idea came to our heads after reading a chapter from the new microfinance handbook. It was interesting to us that, let me come over here, sorry.
It might just be me, because I'm older.
A little better?
Yeah, thanks.
Nice. So it came to us after reading a chapter from the new microfinance handbook. It was interesting to us when a World Bank comes out with a statistic that says X amount of people in a certain population only make $2 a day. They might not actually have that $2 a day. What they'll do is get an average monthly income, multiply it by 12, and divide it by 365. So there'll be a day, like 4-day span, even more, where people won't even have this money in hand. So that's kind of what revolved us coming up with this idea for a new payment system. So what we came up with was, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go to the next one. I just realized what I was saying. So the idea behind this was, first of all, to help save money. When you're paying over a long duration of time, more frequent payments will lower the total amount that you're paying. The second is less pressure. So every dollar, every penny really counts in these countries. So the idea behind this was, at the end of the month, where they're having to hold this $4, for example, to the side, that's a lot of pressure if they need that money for going towards something else. You know, illness pops up. A lot of things happen. And then the final thing is help educate. You know, a big part of microfinance isn't only just giving out loans, but it's helping to educate. Helping educate, you know, I have to put $1 to the side each week is big, and it's very important for them to get this in hand. So to kind of explain what a money guard is now, is basically what the name suggests. You know, someone that guards your money. It's either a family friend, family, or someone that's well trusted in your community. So how this would work is, in our minds, was the Daughter of Charity would be the money guard, and each week they would pay forward the money to overall pay off the loan. The next objective was the payment templates for the daughter. So currently, we're being updated on payments from half years to 2 years plus time for active borrowers. This isn't anyone's fault. It's kind of just a problem with accessibility and availability. So we came up with a simple method with using Google Docs so that it's easy accessible for not only us, but the daughters. It's frequent that we stay in contact over email. So what we could do is simply send a link, and I'm going to show you exactly. We would send them this link, and they would receive this. Obviously, this wasn't here. This is kind of just to show you, for example. It would show the date started, the name of the applicant, the projected amount, their monthly payments, and the time period. So it goes off color coordination. So if the person pays the correct amount, it'll come up as green. If they pay under that amount, it'll come up as red, and over the amount is blue. This is just a month-to-month payment. And then this area is to keep them up to date and tracking how they're going and how well they're paying the entire process. So for example, if you look at month 6, they didn't pay any money, so they're behind. So the following month, on month 7, they paid the over amount of the regular payment, and it keeps them back up to date again. And just to add, at the bottom, obviously, it also shows the received amount and the projected amount, still following that same color coordination.
All right, so one of the things we decided to really focus on is how do you keep borrowers motivated in paying their loans and like active on their loan payment. So we developed an incentive program where if you're a successful borrower and you want to get another loan, we have an expedite process. So instead of waiting the 3-week allotted time, it'll be 1 to 2 weeks. Another way to really incentivize people to like pay back the loan is creating a system called Borrowers of the Semester. So like we have the Globe Gazette, as you can see, and I created a mock-up of what it would look like. So it would be like maybe 1 or 2 borrowers, and then you feature them in that, so it's not only to like motivate them, but then keep them excited that they're doing such a great work. And we also decided that we would translate it in their native language, so there's something that they can keep and really like cherish as something for themselves. Another big thing during the semester was the risk profile system. So we had a portfolio and we really didn't understand how to like break it down. Having this risk profile system not only allowed us the ability, well, we are creating it, and this is something that the next team will hopefully expound upon. We created 3 characteristics that would be focused on. So borrower characteristics, loan specific, and then macro environment. Borrower specific relates to whether they're a trader, what do they do, what their occupation is, and really about that person, individual. Loan specific is the relation to the amount of loan to the household income and that ratio of how much it would take of their percentage. And then macro environment relates to the political environment, or is there a hurricane, and really just the environment overall. Will that affect their ability to pay back in a quicker manner, or will it help them pay back, derail their payment system?
Updating the portfolio was another very important goal of ours. When we started the semester, we got access to the Globe Master List, which kind of has the information on all of the borrowers that Globe has ever had. It shows whether or not a loan is active, whether or not it's extended, whether or not it's already paid off. And we just kind of noticed that a lot of the information on a lot of our borrowers was a little dated. Something we kind of learned early in the semester from the textbook was that having information systems that are up to date and accurate are very, very important for any type of institution, especially a financial institution. So something that we wanted to do was update our system. So we did some research. We talked to some of our daughters at Charity, and we got a lot of very important information on a lot of our active and extended loans, and that was super important for us just to operate efficiently at the organization. We wanted to determine the feasibility of repayment for these active and extended loans. As the finance and budgeting team, it's important for us to know how our assets are being used, especially since Globe is a social business. We want to make sure that we're having the impact that we're promising that we're going to have, or that we're trying to have. So it was very important for us to see how those payments were going and seeing which ones would come back, which ones might not come back, and that was super, that was awesome. Refining the risk profiles of the Globe countries. This was also another important goal that came from looking at this information and updating it. As Esther pointed out, we're working on a risk profile system with the steering committee, Dr. Doyle, and having information on all of the countries has kind of helped us refine which countries have which risk. We also broke down this into other demographics, like involving gender, involving age, involving what the loan was for, what type of business they were taking it for, and we got a lot of very useful information, which really helped us put this system together. Sorry, yeah. All right, also for the Future Globe team, we have a cheat sheet for you. When we started the semester, we eventually hit the ground running, but there was a lot that we didn't know how to do. So we thought if we had an instruction manual, that would help the future team operate a lot more efficiently. So we put one together for you. It has some navigational tips on how to use things like the master list. It also tells you how to look through a Globe application, how these loans work. The Daughters of Charity send us an application, and we extract information that's important, and we create a recommendation for the steering committee. So our cheat sheet walks you through that process, so you guys will be able to pick that up a lot faster and hopefully process loans just a lot easier.
In passing the baton, we were able to find great success this semester by being able to work well as a team. We were able to do that by scheduling a time to meet up on a weekly basis. Every Thursday at 5 p.m. we met on the 4th floor event hall to discuss what we need to accomplish for that day or for the rest of the week, and what we were going to do to be able to achieve all of our objectives for over the entire semester. Through that, we were able to be very proactive in trying to accomplish our tasks, especially with our goal to try to enter into a new country. We did that very early onto the process to hopefully get into a country, which is why we were able to successfully contact daughters in Guatemala. And then we realized the importance of keeping each other updated, and then as well as everyone around us updated, including all the other teams of Globe and Dr. Sama and the steering committee. And through that, we were able to gain suggestions to be able to continue to improve. And we were also looked to update the different softwares that Globe has. So we worked with our graduate assistant, Nina, to be able to update the website, to update the master list, and we realized that it's very important so we can truly understand how we are operating in different countries and our overall performance as Globe.
So we did a lot this semester, and we left a little bit for you guys too. So do not drop the baton now that we've passed it. Keep it in hand. The first of which is really important is country expansion. So like I mentioned before, the daughter in Guatemala did approve the proposal. However, we still don't have a borrower yet. There is one hiccup with it. Her rotation in Guatemala has just expired. So she's going to be moving on to a new country, which means there's another daughter coming in. We have the new daughter's contact information, but you just need to make sure, like, as maybe even first week when you guys get here, make sure that an email is sent out so that we can really keep track of it and keep Guatemala like on a tightrope. And in addition to that, we're looking into other countries, and the feedback we did get on Brazil and Cambodia was also really, really positive. We want to keep expanding Globe, and hopefully someday it'll be all around the world, right? But we have to make sure we do that, and we have to be proactive about it, so don't let it slide.
Secondly, the borrower incentive program. So we put some pretty decent work into putting this together. We're very proud of it, and we would love for you guys to use it. It's never been used before. It has yet to be tested. So when you guys get a borrower who has been, who has used Globe before, please try out the program. We think it can do great things for our borrowers. In addition to that, if you guys think there's anything that you can add to the program, please ask the steering committee for advice and try to put that together. We do, we like what we have, but we think anything can be built upon and improved. So please look into that too.
Last but not least is the risk profile system, which we started. So we created an Excel sheet that really tracks each one by metrics and points. It's something we started and not implemented. Dr. Doyle has made suggestions. So whoever's in the finance team, it's very important that you really look at the data and start analyzing it and really put numbers into it. So we have a structure and foundation for it, and it's something that can be very useful for the next team if done correctly. So the risk profile system would not only help us in understanding our portfolio, but really understanding our performance as a whole. Thank you so much. This is the finance team, and I would like you guys to welcome the marketing and fundraising team next.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Alessandra Pasqualoni.
I'm Alexia Christian.
I'm Angeline Dang.
I'm Olivia Yeagle.
And we're the marketing and fundraising team. First, I'm going to start talking about some of our objectives and goals. Our main goal for the semester overall was to spread awareness about Globe. Some of our awareness goals including creating flyers, getting into the Microfinance Club of New York, and most importantly, the Globe Mixer. Some of our fundraising goals include our Valentine's Day bake sale, the Give Campus campaign, which ends tonight, so you still have time to donate. Help us make double our goal. That'd be amazing. And our annual raffle, which you can still buy tickets for tonight. Start off, I'm going to talk about the Microfinance Club of New York. We intended to hopefully join the club and also get in contact with two former Globe managers that do sit on the board, Gina and Janelle. We had drafted emails with Dr. Salma. She even said she would cover the fee for the membership, but due to the fact that we wanted to spend more time on the Globe Mixer and making our other goals successful, we didn't have time to do this. Also, Canva is going to be your best friend if you're on the marketing fundraising team, because you can create really cute flyers and invitations, which you'll see throughout the presentation, and some of the flyers that you see on the table right now were created with Canva.
So this is our first flyer, and our first fundraising event came rather quickly, and we only had 2 weeks to prepare for it. And our goal was to raise $350, and we came up with this number because of previous semesters and what they raised. And we believe that having an event so early on in the semester, we were able to shape friendships. It helped us with teamwork and communications amongst the class. And Valentine's Day landed on a Wednesday this year, and as many of you know, on Wednesdays, not many students have classes, so that was an obstacle that we had to face, and we overcame it by having our managers walk around campus to sell our baked goods to faculty, students, and professors. And with this, we were able to exceed our goal by $80, and in total, we raised $430. So for the Globe Soiree, this year is our 10th year celebration of Globe. And we wanted to make it special this year by honoring the former managers, because we wouldn't be here if it weren't for all the former managers. And as you can see on the right side of the screen, we decided to come up with a Globe canvas in which every manager signed and wrote a word that reminded them of Globe. And we thought this would be a special memory. that we could leave behind for future Globe managers. we created memories, and all around our venue we had different types of decorations, which were very interactive with the Globe managers. And we had, on one side we had photo booths with props, as you can see in the pictures, and we also had a map. Some of you may have seen it outside, and it was to help you visualize and see the types and see the countries we operated in. We also had a wall of fame in which we hung up all the pictures of previous managers, and lastly we had a little trivia game. So overall, the outcome was pretty good. The event was pretty good, and we had a pretty good turnout, and we want to thank everyone who attended and celebrate Globe.
So next we had our Globe raffle, which we originally set our fundraising goal for $400. But so far we raised $320. You can still buy raffles tonight. We had amazing gifts donated this year, or this semester, one of which donated by Dr. Selma. And then the rest, the other 8, were donated 2 per team. So we have a total of 9 amazing prizes. Tickets are $2 for 1 ticket, $5 for 3 tickets, and you get a whole arm's length, which is around 20 tickets, for $20. So like I said, all our proceeds go to Globe. You can buy them up until the end of the night. You can come up to any one of us or any of the other Globe managers with the name tag on. And last but not least, of course, we have our Give Campus. This is an annual or semi-annual event that we always do. Give Campus is a fundraising site that schools can go on to raise money for whatever type of event or that they're having. So we set our goal very low. As Alessandra said previously, we wanted to kind of focus on more spreading awareness in our Globe soiree as opposed to fundraising more money. So we set it for 1,000, which is a lot lower compared to other semesters. But we luckily surpassed our goal by over 70%. So we have about 1,693 currently. You can still donate. The campaign will end tonight. Thank you. The campaign ends tonight at midnight. So if you look in the pamphlet, the brochure, it'll have the QR code that you can scan if you have the app on your phone, or the link to the website is there. So you can type it in, donate $1, donate $10, whatever you, and any contribution helps. We'd like to get to 2,000 by the end of the night. So we're almost there, very close. So do your best. Oh, yes. And here's with the help of the IT team and all of our Globe managers, we put together a campaign video, very short, just to kind of highlight what Globe does, why you should donate, and our overall theme of the Give Campus.
Giving back.
Helping others.
Friendship.
Excellence.
Women empowerment.
Opportunities. Entrepreneurship. Poverty alleviation.
We are Globe. We make up 4 teams: marketing and fundraising, enterprise development, finance, and IT. But we all share one common goal. By providing loans to entrepreneurs in developing countries, we hope to alleviate poverty, one borrower at a time. We can't do this alone. Donate 10 cents, $1, or $10, and join us in celebrating 10 years of Globe.
10 more years of cultural awareness.
Vision. Creativity.
Innovation.
Improvements.
Progression.
Cultivation.
10 more years of Globe managers changing the world one loan at a time.
Thank you for donating. We love Globe.
Thank you very much to Zach for the beautiful voice that he supplied throughout that video. Also to whoever the last kid at the end who said 10 more years. That was just, I don't know, for me that was the highlight. I don't know about you guys. But, so as my teammates Olivia and Angeline so wonderfully described, we had 3 fundraising objectives this semester. The first one was the Valentine's Day bake sale. The second was the Give Campus campaign. And the third was the raffle, which you can still buy raffle tickets tonight, so please continue to do so. You never know, it might be your lucky night, you might win. Also, Give Campus does end at 11:59, so please get those donations in if you're going to do so. We very much appreciate it. So in total, we had a very low goal of $1,750. And for the past managers, that might not seem like a lot, but again, like Olivia and Alessandra had said, we wanted to focus more on spreading awareness and making sure that all the events that we did do, we did to the fullest. So right now, we are at 2,443 goals, so round of applause. We've smashed our goal, and hopefully tonight we get even further. Maybe we can double it. So next, we want to bring a quote from Muhammad Yunus, who is the founder of Grameen Bank in India, and he is known as the father of microfinance. So if you want to do something, you have to imagine it. If you don't imagine it, it will never happen. And that kind of ties in with goals that we wanted to do, but they didn't make the cut. Pretty cool stuff. So these were things that didn't make it onto our final objective list, but we did want to do them. We hope that the future managers could do them potentially. So first, we want to have a bingo night at a local school, Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament. This would have been a great opportunity for us to teach kids about microfinance, to teach them about their place in the world today and how you can affect someone's life from across the world, and how the world is really a global community, especially in today's age with technology. Second, we wanted to have the St. John's men's team host a Globe Night, and this would have been a great opportunity at a basketball game, because a lot of people go to the basketball games. It would have been a great opportunity to reach out to potential donors, as well as to spread awareness of the program through the campus. And unfortunately, again, it didn't make the final objective list, but I think the future managers hopefully look into doing something like that. Lastly, were a midterm week goodie bag. And this was something that past Globe classes had done, and we wanted to do it, but again, didn't make the final cut. Where we were going to have goodie bags and go around selling them to people during midterms week, filled with things like pens, pencils, tissues, Post-it notes, whatever you needed that would help you. You never know, some people get colds, distress, you never know. But it would have helped people during, give them a little boost, and help them get through the stress of midterms.
Alright, so as Chris mentioned, it was so easy to come up with ideas for fundraising and raising awareness, but we had to refine our goals. And even though we had refined our goals, that didn't mean that they were less than so we really had to focus on time management. And one thing that worked for us was select finance team meeting once a week, and it was the same day every week because we had the schedule. And that really helped us to delegate tasks, come up with plans for events, or to create presentations or to tax credits. And that was an essential time where we could really bond and really make sure that we were prepared for the week to come, and could really be building off each other's ideas and reflecting on what we were doing. And to pass the baton to the future marketing team, sort of like the finance team's cheat sheet, we've also created a cheat sheet. And that can be found on the Google Drive, which we will have access to next semester. And on that Google Drive, there's the cheat sheet, which includes the different tips that we have, a timeline, which is like the most essential. It has months for, this is actually more for the spring class, because it has months from January through May, and different tips on like what's most important and what they can work on. So for next semester, it's really important that the fall class is able to pick up on that and create kind of their own months, September through December, and create something that the next semester students can actually read and get tips from, and that will help speed up the process and make things more effective and possible. And thank you for your attention, and now we're going to pass the time to the IT communication team.
Yo, Ed, can you sit here and video this for me? It's the live stream.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Zach.
I'm Kodiak.
I'm Megan.
And we are the Information Technology Communications team. So what we do is basically we help promote the marketing team's campaigns. As they stated, we help make the videos, and also we help engage with past and future managers, because, well, Globe really is you guys. You're what make it works. So with that, let's get started. The first platform that we really use was Facebook, and we focused on two specific metrics, likes and reach. So reach is based on impressions. One impression is one person seeing your either advertisement or anything. So our reach wasn't that great, but we'll get back to that after. The important one really is likes. When somebody likes your page, it's shown to their friends see when they interact with it. That's the best for really spreading the word, and we crushed our goal. We started with 2257 followers, our goal was 100 additional likes, and we ended up getting 270 additional likes. So that's a huge thanks to all you guys, past managers, our managers now. But like I said, we didn't really achieve our reach goal, but there's a reason for that. So at the beginning of this semester, Mark Zuckerberg changed the Facebook algorithm. And with that, he made it so that you see a lot more family content as opposed to business pages. And even though we are a nonprofit, we're still technically a business page according to Facebook. So it was really, really, really difficult to get the word out there. And you can see some stats right here. Last semester, they had 38 posts, had over 31,000 impressions. This semester, we weren't far behind. We actually ended up adding a couple more. We ended up with 32 posts, and we ended up still shy of 20,000 impressions. So I mean, even though we did get to boost our posts, it really, really, really killed us. But that's fine, because where you lack in one area, you make up for it in another. And we ran a Google AdWords campaign. So basically how that works is you put in a bid, and whenever anybody looks up any of your keywords, then your advertisement comes up to them at the top of the Google bar in the yellow sponsored advertisement. So we actually created one and ran it for a month, and it was extremely successful. So we got 51,000 impressions. So 51,000 unique people saw our advertisement, and over 800 people clicked on it. So that was phenomenal. And moving on to Instagram with Cody.
So our second main social media that we focused on was Instagram. And we had a goal to grow our follower base by 10%, which would have been 50 followers. We absolutely crushed that number, growing by over 200 followers. And the way we really did this was by making a lot of videos. That's one of my passions in life, is that I make videos and try to capture smiles and capture enthusiasm and make people want to be a part of something. And I really put that into Globe this semester by using video on Facebook and Instagram to try to make people want to follow Globe, but also show the camaraderie that you build with your fellow managers and how Globe is such a great time. We were also able to include all male members of the class as MCMs, which stands for Man Candy Monday, on Instagram and Facebook. Then we were able to get 6 WCWs, which also is Women Candy Wednesdays. And then we were able to post 5 videos on Instagram and Facebook. Our goal was to average around 3 posts a week, and we were able to successfully accomplish that goal. And then we successfully marketed several events with the help of the marketing team, such as the soiree, the bake sale, and the gift canvas. So if you look here, we show our analytics. We see that here are a few examples of our posts. We see the age range where we connect. We reach with mostly the 18 to 4 demographic. 392 accounts were reached from April 20th to 26th through the boosting of a post. We were able to reach 27 new people between that time.
So when it came to our Twitter account, we ran things a little bit differently from our other social media platforms, and that's because the key to staying relevant in Twitter is to be interactive. And we were successful at that because our original goal was to gain at least 15 new followers, and we exceeded that with 18 new followers, with a total amount of impressions from January of 8,000. We were also successful in maintaining a pretty even ratio between male and female viewers of our page, with about 53% male viewers and 47% female viewers. And when it came to content, we used a website called Crowdfire, which helped us search relevant articles related to microfinance and post them at the most busiest and successful times on Twitter for Twitter users. We also posted about 2 to 3 times per week and created a TCB Globe hashtag, which we use in almost all of our posts. This also helped us to stay relevant, and we were able to average at least 450 engagements and impressions on almost all of our posts throughout the semester.
So because we wanted to use all forms of social media, we decided to experiment with Snapchat. For those of you who don't know what Snapchat is, it's a temporary photo app where you take pictures and you send it to your friends. But because of the limitations on creating sustainable content, it wasn't as successful as we hoped. However, we did create a Globe geotag for tonight's evening, which I strongly encourage you guys to use. We even added an incentive for people to use it. We thought this was a great idea because it would help us because it would help us interact with our audience, and it would create a fun way to spread Globe's message. We also wanted to experiment with other forms of media and on campus, such as the Torch newspaper and the WSJ radio show. The Torch news article was the first article written in several years on Globe, and the WSJ radio show, I collaborated with a former Globe manager, Ayana Ibarra, to participate on her show, #NoFilter. So, while passing the baton, we strongly encourage you guys to communicate with other managers within the class, not just your team. It's important to realize that social media is not just like for individuals' responsibility, but it's all of our responsibility. We all have to promote it as much as possible.
And with that, once a Globe manager, always a Globe manager. So make sure, next class, that you reach out to your past managers, and that's including us. So what you really want to do, and what we didn't necessarily get to conquer this semester, is finding Globe champions. So what you guys really want to do is you want to reach out to past managers, reach out to us, reach out to anybody, so that you can create content, basically. Create profiles on Facebook, create profiles on Instagram, and just in general spread the word so that you can have former Globe managers at events like this, at events like the soiree, and basically just, spread the word of Globe even more. So if you guys ever need any help, please don't hesitate to contact any of us, and we would love to help you guys in spreading the word as well.
And finally, we suggest that future Globe managers finish the IT handbook. There is an internal wiki page created by past Globe managers which gives a rundown of all the past social media goals and the account passwords and usernames. But we think that's a good idea to create a physical or digital online handbook that gives a rundown of all the business details of every social media platform, like how to create a successful sponsored post and successfully share content related to microfinance.
And with that, last but not least, we pass it to our Enterprise Development and Impact Audit team.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Talia Phillip.
I'm Sarah Merldy. I'm Andrea Franco.
And we are the, Enterprise Development and Impact Audit team. So today we'll be going over our internal audit objectives, external audit objectives, enterprise development objectives, and passing on the baton. Through our internal audit objectives, what we concluded was 3 internal audits, and one was in February, the second in March, and the last at the end of April. Through these audits, what we do is we analyze each team's progress throughout the semester, and we provide feedback for them to better understand how to go on and move forward and continue to progress throughout the semester, and we'll evaluate the success of each team through this. And a way we did this is by creating questionnaires. In order to create these questionnaires, we use Google Forms. And each team, we decided to take on each team amongst ourselves and created the service based on the team's objectives for the semester in order to check their progress. Once the questionnaires were provided, we gave them a week, and within the week we provided audit reports, and just in order to have them understand how far they've come, what progress they have made, and how much more progress they have. And I think we can all say throughout the presentations today that each team has done a tremendous job.
So as Talia just said, we all undertook our own duties, and I took on the finance and assessment team. And as you can see by the graph, they first got like a 57.5, and then they went on to the 65, and then for the third internal audit, they got a 90. And this was mainly because a lot of their objectives were due until the end of the semester. And something that we found remarkable was we were able to get into Golden Model, and that's really amazing. And it's because
I took on the marketing and fundraising team, and
On their first audit, they scored 55, on the second one 66, and then on their last one they went up to 90. They probably went up a little more because this event is made possible because of them. So after time, it will go up. Something very remarkable for their team was that their first event, as I mentioned, was at the very beginning of the semester, and they went really above in terms of how much they raised, but also organizing the event itself. They had their goal at 350, and they were able, with the help of the entire class, we were able to raise $430, which is impressive. They also changed the name of the mixer, and they made it into the soiree. So that was a great initiative that they took on, and they did great.
Next is the information technology team. They have been tremendous from the beginning, I can say. They really hit the ground running as soon as they came. The team first scored 73% in their first audit, second 75%, and finally 91%. They have been very creative with their videos and just Google Words, very